Hi, I'm Kevin with Train Tree. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about apples. So with apples, we have a couple different scenarios today to show you. One, I have new little apple trees that I'm putting around my fence line there. I'm going to grow those up as spalier along the fence. But I'm going to be doing it with the Train Tree blocks so that I don't have to set up a staking system. And you can already see how the blocks are pulling them out. And now I'm also going to show you on one of my old Fuji trees how this just got too big and I didn't know enough. I didn't do a good job on training it properly from the beginning. This particular tree grew everything up, and I didn't get very many apples off of this particular tree, and I used to think, oh, maybe I just don't have the right chill hours for this particular variety, and it couldn't be further from the truth. Once I learned that the apples need to produce on branches that are somewhere between 45 degrees and 90 degrees, preferably about 60 degrees, once I learned that, this tree started spitting out apples like I'd never seen before. But how do you get your trees to your branches to get down to that 60 degrees? So I would do all these different things. I would tie them down. You would look into my trees and see all this green tape and stuff being tied to different, I tied this one to this one and trying to pull them all down. And what a nightmare. Just an absolute nightmare for me. Plus they looked terrible. So I had purchased some cement blocks, these dobies, and I hooked them in my tree. I happened to see these at the nursery, I mean not the nursery, the Home Depot, and I thought, hey, maybe something like that would work. The concept was right, the problem was they're too heavy. So they will snap off a branch, they're just too heavy. Plus the wires, the way they hook on, the way that it would hook on there, the wires, they're made out of steel, so they rust a lot. And then because I'm in an area that gets a lot of wind, they would rub on my branches and it would it just damage trees a little bit. So anyways, you look inside this tree and you can see I've got blocks everywhere. I am now bringing this tree down so that I no longer have to get on ladders to get up to get anything. Everything is coming down. And like I've told you before, all trees, I don't care if they're my avocados or my plums or my citrus or these apples, they reach for the sky. And when they're reaching for the sky, they're only going to get taller and taller. And that is not what we're looking for. We want it to stay down here. We want it to be manageable. And so that's what with these Train Tree blocks we can accomplish. Now you look in here, and I mention all the time in the videos that you know, I'm already kind of a couple steps ahead, so you don't get to see it necessarily from step one. But here you're going to be able to see, if you look inside this tree, you can see this stuff that's all growing up there. This is one, it's been on for a little bit. I tell you, start off by putting it in. Don't start your stuff out too far. Don't put your blocks out too far. Because the goal is not to get it to be hanging to the ground. The goal is to get it to reach somewhere in that, 60 degrees is about right there. So that really is the goal. So like this particular branch, I would move these. And all I do is I go in here and I just move my blocks around. So this particular branch, it's growing up to the sky. I'm going to put that on there and start bringing him down a little bit. If you look inside here, you can see this branch here. He's growing all the way up into the sky. And I actually already have one on there, but I need to move it out just a little bit. So we're going to pull him down, get him down into this area, hook that block back on, and that is going to be coming out this way. Now, you can kind of see on how I had my tree before. I kind of grew it up and I literally became kind of a shade type tree. I also had some help from my buddies here that they've decided they like apples. So they'll climb up here and they'll get them too, so I started raising my tree up a little bit. But now I'm bringing it back down a little bit. So I don't want to just make a big drastic whack and bring it down, I'm slowly bringing it down. So what I did in here is I'm starting off new, lower branching, and that's what this is. So I'm keeping the tree healthy, I'm keeping a lot of leaf in here. At the end of the season, I'll go back in, prune it out, and redirect. Here I happen to have a spreader, so I'm basically pushing a new branch out of here. So I have one spreader. Here's another one. This has been in here for a little bit. This branch is heading up, so we're going to move it out just a little bit. Might be a little bit too far because it needs to come fairly slow. You don't want it to just snap this branch off. This one here, I'll move this over just a little bit. A little too much, still too much, maybe one too many. That seems pretty good to me. So you can see, and it doesn't take long. It does not take long at all for you to start moving this. You don't have to have hundreds of blocks in your trees. You just need to have enough to keep moving it around, pulling these things down. This branch here, this branch is already leveled out. So I'll take that off, put it in on this one, and bring that one. See, that one's growing into the tree. So more than likely that one's going to be coming off because I want everything coming outside. I don't want it going inside that tree. And that's basically it. You can see on down here, hey Duke, will you get out of the way? Come here. Come here, Duke. Okay. Can you see down here on that branch how we have a block out on the end and we're pulling that branch down sideways like that? So, well, I see that this one here was knocked off. So like I said, my buddies, they like to get around here in these trees. So I put this out on the end, level it out, and that's what I'm going to be doing with all of these. I'm kind of doing a new little system called that high density planting. And I'm going to grow them up like little Christmas trees, but they're going to be a spaliered like this. It's just my wife and I and my 2 kids and my 3 boys here. So we don't need lots and lots of apples, but we do need, we do want different varieties of apples. What I have going here is I've got some multi-varieties. Now I didn't buy them to actually grow multi-varieties. What I plan on doing is as I grow these out, I'm going to add some of these onto. I'm going to graft them on. So I have a lot of different varieties of apples. And that's what I'm doing today with apples. With my system, makes it so simple.